portal to hell's back. Just in case. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of that Cybert channel. I'm Dan Cybert and I thought I left that at my old apartment. Well, if the portal to hell's back, that can only mean one thing. That's right, we're gonna be talking about one of my favorite franchises of all time. Doom! We're talking about more Doom. That's right, today we're gonna be returning back to the Doom franchise because I am a dumb. Today we're gonna be talking about a game I missed during my Doom marathon, Doom 64. Doom 64 was released on March 31st, 1997 for the Nintendo 64. No duh. However, the game was not developed by id Software, but instead Midway Games, who worked on the ports of both Doom and Final Doom, another one that I eventually have to come back to. id Software would still be involved in the project as they supervised the entire thing. Originally called the ABSOLUTION, Doom 64 was built on an enhanced version of the Doom engine that allowed for full 3D polygonal models to be used. Granted, only the levels would use the full 3D models. Enemies were still pre-rendered sprites created from 3D models similar to Donkey Kong Country. The issue though is that those 3D models took up a lot of space. Combine that with the ambition of the project, Doom 64 had a lot of cuts in order to fit onto the N64 cartridge. The game would be received fairly well, the major criticism being that while the gameplay was great, the engine was starting to show its age, especially when you consider that only 4 months later, GoldenEye would drop on the very same system. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Doom 64 would see its revival with Doom Absolution and Doom 64 EX, both fan-made recreations of Doom 64. While Doom Absolution would add a bunch of new features, Doom 64 EX would be a more faithful version of the original game. And that's the version we're going to be playing today, Doom 64 EX, mostly because my N64 is currently busted. And if we're gonna emulate, we might as well play it like the other Dooms. Legs made of iron and a neck that has no vertical movement. With that in mind, let's go Not really. We're not gonna, don't demonetize me. Don't demonetize me! Never mind, demonetize me. Demonetize the whole damn channel.
I'm back!
Damn it.
Call me an old joke, and I only return mightier in the digital realm. I really brushed up on my social media skills, and SEO too.
Great, and now he has the power of a millennial. Let's play some Doom 64.
Oof, we gotta talk about your metadata game, bro.
I hate you so much. Ho ho ho! Full 3D environments, upgraded looks of demons, and carnage right off the bat. The intro into this game is epic. Seeing mass carnage as the USC tries to fight off demons in actual 3D is long. Yeah, while the intro was cool, it does go on for quite a bit, just to reveal that they were fighting on the Doom logo. Cool, just long. Then we get to the title screen and it is a bit bland. I mean, not that it's bad by any means, but it kind of feels plain for an N64 title screen. I'm slightly worried.
I'm not. Did you see how many of your puny human soldiers died? Like 50!
Just as many demons died. What are you talking about?
Whatever. We have like 10,000 more.
What? There were a few key menu things that are new to the franchise I want to cover. Well, I mean, one thing I want to cover, passwords. Passwords saved my ass more than once while recording the game. While you can save, passwords are like the comfort of finding a $20 bill in your pocket when you're broke.
Or you find you have just one more human in your human cage you get to disintegrate.
Sure. Not only that, it can be used for some fun cheats, like giving yourself every weapon and item at the start of the game. Just a fun way to kick off your demon disintegration spree.
Oh, that's like finding out that one human brought like every weapon and item into your human cage.
Good analogy. So let's dive into the story. Doom 64 takes place after the stories of Doom, Doom 2, and Final Doom, previously mentioned game I need to go back to. After preventing the demon invasion and wiping them out with extreme amounts of radiation, Doom Guy retires, haunted by dreams of demons. Unbeknownst to everyone, the demons are resurrected by some unknown entity. It's now up to you to deal with your PTSD with, quote, merciless extermination.
Plagiarism! That's exactly like the directive I got from Spider Mastermind! I'm suing!
The storytelling in Doom 64 is similar to that in the previous installments. Game manual and text on the screen. It's not too flashy, which would be a bit more excusable in the DOS days, but we're now in the 64-bit era. Storytelling had advanced quite a bit with cinematics and voice acting, something I would have liked to see here.
What is it?
Blood. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
Okay, maybe not the voice acting. Still, we're not playing Doom for its groundbreaking storytelling. We're playing Doom to tear demons a new one.
A new what?
A new,
Yes, go ahead! A new what?
A new coupon for a free soda at Round Table Pizza.
Bow down to the power of the yellow dollar sign!
Let's talk about presentation. I don't like that you've learned these things. The presentation of Doom 64, I have slightly mixed feelings about. Sure, there have been some big changes, but whether or not those are improvements feels a bit subjective. Let's talk about the obvious upgrades you see in the game's graphics. Doom 64 looks freaking great. I mean, for the N64 era, but it still looks good. Obviously, we're not going to compare this to Doom 2016 graphics, but it still holds up very well in that retro style nostalgia. All the demons have upgraded sprites created from 3D models, and they look much more intimidating than their 1993 counterparts. The guns also look more devastating with upgraded looks, but you'll really notice the graphic upgrade when it comes to the levels. Levels are now greatly improved with the upgraded Doom engine. Now that the game can be rendered in full 3D, levels can now include bridges and even greater detail with the decor. These upgrades to the level design help make each level feel more unique than the previous games. There was never a level I felt was too similar to the others, especially when it came to exploration. More on that later.
So the game looks great! Why do you have mixed feelings?
Now watch me tear down this game and make thousands of fans really upset.
Whoa! I get to watch you destroy everything you built without having to do anything? Guess that saves some time.
Wait, what was that?
Nothing. I just like to watch you ruin your reputation.
Okay, so here's the thing. While Doom 64 does a fantastic job on the graphics and level design, it seems to fall short in other aspects. Like for example, where is the gun reload animation? Yes, I know that most of the guns don't really have it, but the shotgun and super shotgun have key animations to let you know when you could fire them again. I kinda like to place my shots with a semi-auto weapon. My main issue is the story text, HUD, and sound design. First, the story text. This follows the same feel as the original Dooms, text on a generic background. Sometimes that is excusable in 1993, but not so much in 1997. But at the very least, there could have been an opportunity to put an image to help set the scene instead of whatever this is. Then let's talk about how boring the HUD is. Yes, I get that the last two Dooms covered a lot of the screen with their HUD, but this just feels lazy to me. Numbers and text slapped on the screen that are semi-transparent. Yes, I know this is very practical, but it lacks that sort of polish I would have liked to see from a Doom game. So let's now talk about the sound design. Sound effects are on par for the course. Stereo sound helping you find where secrets and demons are hiding. Firefights sound great, etc. It's all the stuff I've covered before in the Doom 1993 and 2 reviews. But let's address the music. Or I guess the lack thereof. This is where I feel a lot of fans are going to have differing opinions on it. Instead of the heavy metal soundtracks from the first two games, Doom 64 begins the transition to more ambient, suspenseful atmosphere we heard in Doom 3. A lot of the music, or atmospheres, align with a more horror-esque feel, building tension and creating a sense of loneliness and helplessness. And here's the thing, it makes a lot of sense to go this route. It's just you in an empty space station as you slowly descend into hell. It would make sense to add more tension, but that contradicts the fast-paced combat as you take on the role of a one-man weapon of mass destruction. I actually found myself listening to the Doom soundtrack as I played. I know this is just personal preference, but I feel like this should feel more like this.
Doom! No! I put my leftover human over there!
Rules of 3!
What are you talking about?
What?
Pitiful human ears.
I have tinnitus! Alright, presentation and gripes aside, how does the actual game feel? It's awesome. I was so pleasantly surprised how much I freaking loved playing this game. Playing the EX version of the game, it felt just like playing the originals with that WSAD. Wasad is where I live. My address is 458 Wasad Street, which, funnily enough, doesn't exist. This game plays and feels like Doom, even further refined from Doom 2, maintaining the gameplay from the previous versions, but taking advantage of the new technology to create an even better rampage through hell. If you've seen my previous Doom videos, you know the breakdown. Let's talk about Doom 64's 2 parts, exploration and combat. Let's start off with the greatest improvement to the gameplay, the exploration. The ability to actually play in full 3D polygonal levels is used in full force here. Navigating complex castles feels much more engaging than the previous games. Each map presented a slew of new approaches and challenges other than random teleporters dropping you into demon swarms. I'm looking at you, Doom 2. Though, I mean, Doom 64 had a bad case of Hell Knights and Tiny Corridor Syndrome. Speaking of challenges, puzzles have been taken up about 50 notches. That's a lot of notches. If you were hoping to rage through blowing demons up, you might get stuck a few times trying to figure out how to proceed. Not that any of the puzzles are impossible, but you'll actually have to be a bit more observant to make your way through the level.
I helped!
Oh yeah?
Yes! A friend of mine that I met helped me build the new puzzles.
Oh god.
Papyrus! Rev! Did that book I gave you help you with your puzzles? Apparently it worked wonders according to the flesh sack over there.
I thought you called Papyrus a measly pile of bones.
Say what now?
A great example of the new puzzles happens in map 23, Unholy Temple. Normally when you see a blue, yellow, or red skull marker, it usually means that having that skull or key opens the door. So, what happens when you find 3 colors on one door? Turns out you need to memorize the order and hit 3 colored switches in the order to unlock the door. It's a nice touch and a great improvement on engaging the player even more. As the previous 2 games, secrets are another big part of the game. Hidden doors, time switches, and even fake walls play a big part in keeping your ammo and life filled. Secrets. They do the body good. Just like the previous games as well, there are secret levels you can get to. This time around though, they actually have unique items you can only get in those levels. The artifacts, or demon keys, whatever you want to call them. The internet and the manual seem to disagree on the name. These items are key to beating the final boss. You see what I did there? I'm hilarious. Why are you leaving the video? And with that, we're now moving on to combat. More specifically, your demon obliterating arsenal. The usual suspects are here: chainsaw,
and your bare fists like a goddamn badass.
Thanks, Evan. Then you have the pistol, the shotgun and super shotgun. Why won't you animate? The chain gun, rocket launcher, plasma gun, and of course our favorite, the BFG. All of the guns got a fresh coat of digital paint to make them look even better, especially the plasma gun and BFG. Previously, you would see what guns you had down in the HUD with the numbers 2 through 7. Since the HUD is simplified in Doom 64, you'll instead see the numbers pop up when you switch weapons, with 0 being your fist and 8 being the BFG.
Wait! I see 9! There's something more powerful than the BFG?
Yup, I never thought I would ever say this, but there is one more gun that is more badass than the BFG. Well, I mean, not in terms of looks or feel, but definitely stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the Unmaker. A weapon that was originally supposed to be in the first 2 Dooms as seen in the Doom Bible, the Unmaker is kind of weak to start off.
It's just a laser! You've been lied to!
That is, until you grab those previously mentioned demon keys. After grabbing each one, the gun is actually upgraded to shoot faster, pump out more damage, and be more lasery. Trust me, technical term. Once fully upgraded, this weapon deals way more DPS than the BFG can hope to lay down. So while the BFG is great for clearing rooms in one shot, the Unmaker is for gunning down big baddies before they have a chance to think. With that, let's talk about who's going to find themselves at the end of your barrel. Again, the usual suspects are here. You have your zombies in pistol and shotgun models, imps and the new phantom imps, which are just purple versions of the imp.
Stupid new guys!
Piggy and Spectre are here before their terrible makeover in Doom 3. Hell Knights and Barons of Hell are in the tiniest of corridors. Lost Souls are back and are actually the freaking worst rather than cannon fodder. It's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch!
Cacodemons now look more like cooked meatballs, which is unfortunate. But Pain Elementals are now straight nightmare fuel.
Oh, Beelzebub.
The Cyber Demon is just as large, intimidating, and destructive. The Mancubus looks great with the new look, and the Arachnotrons return as small versions of Spider Mastermind. There seems to be someone missing.
Shut up!
I can't put my finger on it.
I'm the one not there! I'm the one not in the game because they had to cut us for space on the cartridge!
You got benched.
This is the worst! At least this seals the deal.
On what?
Nothing. But it'll probably involve eating your face.
That's fair. That leaves us with just the final boss, the Mother Demon. After you gear up, you'll be locked into an arena with 3 teleporters pumping out tons of demons. However, if you've collected the demon artifacts, you'll be able to close the teleporters before the demons even have a chance to spawn. Once the gates are shut, or the demons all destroyed, the middle pillar will come down, revealing the Mother Demon. She is easily one of the toughest enemies the franchise has to offer, assuming you don't have a fully upgraded Unmaker. If that's the case, simply hold down the trigger button and poof, she is dead. Deader than a career on YouTube. The game ends with Doom Guy realizing the demons are never going to stop. So, he decides to stay in hell and fight the demons back from their own home. At least until he's sealed away and reawakened in Doom 2016. At least that is the theory. A game fear! I'll leave. I'm sorry, I'll leave. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. Doom 64 made many improvements to the gameplay. But honestly, when it comes to presentation, it seems a little confused whether it wants to be a badass rampage or a tense descent through hell. Either way, I really enjoyed my time with Doom 64. So, what are my final thoughts on the game? Well, if you're looking for a great retro shooter, I can't recommend this game enough. Just maybe bring your own music to the rampage. Now, to take care of that portal. So I guess the key to closing hell portals is reviewing old games. Nope, never mind, that's wrong. What the hell was that? What the hell is going on?
Pitiful Cybert! You've fallen right into my trap!
Rev, what did you do?
The hell portal was simply a distraction for me to get my hands on all of your computer systems.
You.
Now with your computer under my control and the help of the YouTube algorithm, truly Satan's best work,
Not disagreeing.
I'm going to wipe your channel!
What?
Say goodbye to TCC!
Rev, you son of a... Great. Even the end card screwed up. Thank you everyone for watching, and a special thanks to your friend Marcus, Alyssa Be Crazy, Elizabeth Mello, and all my Patreon patrons. If you enjoyed the video, please share this video with a friend and hit the like button, and maybe even subscribe. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to freaking fix everything Rev just did. Cybert out.